I'd like to introduce Tara Mastel as our first speaker on the topic of the importance of running good meetings. Tara Mastel is an associate specialist in community vitality for Montana State University Extension, and she is also our program leader. She has decades of experience working in and with communities, and so brings a lot of, I'm guessing, rich stories and experience to this morning's conversation. So thank you for being here, Tara. I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Katie. Very glad to be here today. Very happy to be kicking off this excellent series on running effective meetings because it's really such a key topic right now, especially with what's going on in the state and in the nation. And we don't really get to talk about it very much. So I'm really excited about this series. I think it's going to be really useful for folks. So just diving into the topic, running effective meetings is just so important for making the most of your scarce time and effort and the volunteer time that you have, the time with your employees if you're in an organization. When you're pressed, when you're short on time and resources and all that stuff, it's really easy to skip the planning of a meeting in lieu of just getting other things done. So we often tend to just host meetings or run meetings how others before us have done that. And kudos for you for showing up this morning to really boost your skills, and because I think it really does pay off. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some of the best practices and talk about why spending time to plan effective meetings is a good investment of time. And I'll share some key ideas, and I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts and your tips as well. So let's just move into this. Meetings right now are really getting a bad rap. I hear all the time of how meetings suck our energy and our excitement and our productivity. So the question to me that I'm curious what you all think, but do we need to meet? I would argue that we do need to meet because we really, if without meetings, I feel like it's really we're just getting the perspective of one or two people, and we're not getting that richness of people that are engaged in our organizations, involved in the decision making. So maybe it's just poorly planned meetings that are giving all of meetings a bad rap. Without meetings, I don't think we are able to get those multiple perspectives that are just so important in helping us make really excellent decisions. Just think about it, like in a community, like a town or a city, if you don't have a meeting, you're missing out on hearing. With a meeting, you have the opportunity to get input from like youth, parents, senior citizens, people from the north side, people from the south side, people that are new to town, people that have been there forever, people of different incomes or different backgrounds. So when you have a meeting, you can bring all those people together, and you can do more than just a one-way communication. You can discuss and debate perspectives and give some various inputs that really does help with your decisions. And I think another thing to consider, at least, especially in the, in the nonprofit or the, the community organization side of things, is that meetings are a reason to connect around a common purpose. And it's very rewarding for those that are involved in those volunteer or community-based organizations. Think about it, like if you're in the rodeo club or the soccer club, like you love those things and you want to be involved. And right now we really are struggling with connection across the country. In the news, it says that we have a loneliness epidemic. People are seeking out ways to boost their connections, meet more friends, build those relationships. So not only do meetings allow us an opportunity to get better perspectives from folks that care about our mission or our organization or our reason for being, but it does provide a way for folks to kind of increase their quality of life and build those important relationships. So I'm going to ask you for some participation. So get ready to include some thoughts in the chat. This first question goes against everything that we do at Montana State University Extension Community Vitality, but we're going to ask for the negative. I'm really interested in hearing from you, and just to drive home what the cost of ineffective meetings are. So if you could share in the chat your biggest complaint about ineffective meetings. So what is the thing that you really hate the most about ineffective meetings? Is it starting late? Okay, here we go. Waste of time. Is it starting late? No agenda, meandering conversation? Like, what is it? Like, what are the things that bother you about not having effective meetings? Oh, getting some, no shortage of opinions. I love it. Not sticking to the agenda, waste of time, turn into a gripe fest. Oh man, that's a really good one. Michaela Paul says, shortage of time, lack of clarity, getting off target, no agenda, lost time spent doing something else, increased disorganization, getting off target. Let's see, I'm struggling here with my pointer. Doesn't stick to the agenda, going over time. People use too many words to say something. Oh, I like that. Takes too long, wasting time. A lot of time issues here, which, thank you. That goes along with the rest of what I've got prepared for you today. Agenda items are not completed. So Randy, that's very interesting. So agenda items not completed, that kind of to me says that you maybe are feeling your time is wasted. You're not getting stuff done, non-productive, not prepared. Yep. Waste of time, no action stem from them. So people are looking for action after they want some kind of output from their time spent. Lack of progress towards goal, taking circles, no solutions, no focus, nothing gets accomplished, wasted time, a lot of that. Time away from family that's not productive. Oh man, I feel that. Don't accomplish goals. So excellent. Sucks up your energy. There we go. Getting off topic. Great. Okay, that's excellent. Thank you so much for that. So that really aligns with what I've seen in the research too, or what the literature says about biggest complaints, 10 biggest complaints about ineffective meetings. All right, now I've got a second follow-up question to that question, and I want to know, for you as a person going to meetings, what do you do as a result of an ineffective meeting? So what's your behavior? What happens either during that meeting or in the time between those meetings? What do you do? So back, here we go. Shut down, tune out, take my computer, I zone out, reach out. Yep. Don't pay attention to the meetings, not interested in attending another meeting. There we go. And that is LaDonna from Boulder. Yes. Sam says, do other work, dread going, don't go, try to implement change. There we go. There's positive. I love that. Focus on other priorities, become disengaged. Yeah. So multitask. So you can see, this is really what I was hoping to hear from you all, is that, so there's a cost, and here's the cost right here. Folks are disengaging, they're not coming, they're doing something else, they're multitasking, and some people are trying to get involved. So maybe so that's awesome to be, we have some problem solvers out there, thank goodness. I'm just reading these lack of engagement. Okay, focus on other, this is awesome. So you can see here, I hope you get the sense that, we've got frustration, people are yeah. So we're taking our matters into our own hands. When meetings are bad, there is the cost. So at Montana State University Extension Community Vitality, a big part of what we do is help groups work better together, because effective groups are able to make their communities a better place. They get more done. So we really we have multiple things that we do, and including this webinar, this is exactly one of the things. So if you break meetings down, there's really two parts to the meeting. There are the tasks, the things that you want to get accomplished, like achieving your goals, like hosting the event, or getting the fundraising letter out, or giving the grants, or solving the problems, those things that you go there to get done, the checking things off the list. So there's always the balance of getting those things done, but then there's that process piece. And that is the part that is also really important. You can't just all focus on getting this stuff done. You got to pay attention to that process or the maintenance of the group, which includes the relationships and the process that is used to develop the functionality of your group, that positive climate for gathering together, recognizing members' contributions, their needs, their interests, and resolving if there's any interpersonal problems, nurturing that cohesion, because people come together not just to get things done, but also because it's fun. It's a personal interest of theirs. And so we really have to balance both getting the things done, but also taking care of that process piece, because it's it's really essential. And that's the piece that really, I think, is overlooked aside from getting this stuff done. And I've got this quote here from James Kouzes and Barry Posner, who wrote the Leadership Challenge. And they say that it always takes a group of people working together with a common purpose in an atmosphere of trust and collaboration to get extraordinary things done. So these folks are, leadership gurus, and they're saying, hey, you got to have a group of people working together, but it's got to be in this positive atmosphere. So they're saying the process is important in getting stuff done. So let's talk about a little bit some of the outcomes of well-planned meetings, effective well-planned meetings. There's really there's probably more than this, but I'm going to just talk today about 3 outcomes from well-planned meetings that make it worth the effort beyond what you all shared earlier just now in the chat. First, let's talk about attracting and retaining people. As you saw in the chat earlier, people are disengaging. When there's meetings that are ineffective, people are just not showing up, or they're disengaging, they're doing other things. And they just don't show up if they're not going to come, if they have that option. And I really saw this in a community that I used to work in the past. It was a lovely community. I just loved working in that community. I was an extension agent working in a county in Montana, and going to meetings in this community, they ended up being just long, drawn out, rambling meetings, and they would get stuff done, but it did not follow a linear agenda. It did not, it ended up being kind of a social hour, and it took time away from my family because I had to go, and they always lasted 2.5, 3 hours. So, and then I saw slowly over time, people just stopped coming. So here we go. In Montana, we really need these people to show up because we have a shortage of folks right now. It's really an important issue. Volunteers are very important in our communities, especially in rural communities. Volunteers are running some of our most essential services, and they are providing many of the quality of life things that make our towns really great places to live, like, the fun events and the beautification pieces. So volunteers are really important, but we have a very high leadership demand. We have a shortage of leaders because we have a relatively low number of adults that are, available to be leaders, and we have a relatively high number of organizations that need leaders to run them. So in Montana, we have the second highest leadership demand. And so we need to retain our leaders. We need to have effective meetings, and 1 in every 13 adults must lead. If we look at on the employee side of things, in a business or a nonprofit organization that has employees, we have record low unemployment in Montana. The number of unemployed Montanans hit a record low in 2023 of only 13,000 people that were unemployed. For every 1 unemployed person, there were 3 job opportunities. So people don't want to waste their time. They want to be effective. Well-planned meetings helps improve your decision-making as well. Better meetings equals better decisions. If you have better meetings, you're going to have better attendance, which all of those people coming, they're going to bring better ideas. If you have a better planned meeting, you're going to have a thoughtful process of vetting those great ideas. You're going to have more confident decisions, which is going to increase your buy-in. And with that, you're going to get increased support, either time-wise or financial support, as well as verbal support. Especially that means a lot in a small town. You got to have that, good housekeeping seal of approval to kind of move your organization and your efforts forward. Finally, well-planned meetings just really boost the credibility of your organization. If you think about it, when you run a tight ship, we have great meetings, you are going to have a reputation of an organization that utilizes its resources well. Meetings are the main interaction that people have with a lot of times with a nonprofit in your community. So if you're running a tight ship, it's going to give your organization a very good reputation. So what can we do? Got a few ideas for you here. One thing to start out with is just consider using a meeting evaluation checklist. It's really a tool that you can use to understand more about the quality of your meetings. It's basically a survey of the people that show up to your meetings, and it helps you understand. It might uncover some blind spots that you might have. And it is a kind of a turning point for you to help your group work better to evaluate their meetings. And we'll share a tool with you that we use in Extension. This is kind of what it looks like. You can see down the middle here, the characteristics of an effective meeting are listed out here, and folks can kind of chime in on how they think the meetings are stack up against those key characteristics. Another idea is having a thoughtful agenda, and folks in the latter parts of this series are going to talk more about this. General, these are some key points to think about with a thoughtful agenda. You want to define the results that you want. When your agenda is really like, what are we going to try to get out of this meeting? With your topics that you put on your agenda, maybe orient them towards the priority, what's most important, or what's most important to get done, or what's most important to your organization. I love time limits on an agenda, and prioritizing your topics to what's most important to accomplish that day. And consider processes for decision making. Maybe mix it up. Don't use the same old voting, or try to mix that up. I'm on the board of the Red Lodge Area Community Foundation. I love how they do their agendas. You can see here they have timestamps for where they should be along all the way through. And putting this agenda together, it takes a little bit of time. Like every month, they really consider how much time each of these topics is going to take, and they spend some time on that. And it's really, putting the timestamps on there is great because everybody can see where we're at on the agenda, and they underline the things that need a decision. It's very clear and easy to follow. Another idea that you can use is a parking lot, and you don't need anything more than a piece of paper for this. It's a way to capture ideas that are really important, to value the contributions of the folks that are around the table, because you really need to value those folks. If you blow them off, they are going to feel disengaged in your organization. So you want to capture the ideas, acknowledge the contributions of the folks that are sharing those ideas, but also stay on track. So you're going down your agenda, somebody says a really great idea, but it's off track. Put that idea in your parking lot. It's a way to capture that, and you can come back to it. Maybe you add it to your agenda for the next month. I love this quote. It's attributed to Albert Einstein, but I actually don't think he actually said it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So my question to you is, share in the chat, please. What will you need to do differently in your meetings to have more effective meetings? So I would love, as we're out of time now, I would love for you to share what you think you need to do differently. How do you need to change your meetings in order to have more effective meetings? And I would love to see some thoughts there. So we have time limits for topics, using an evaluation checklist, prepare a better agenda, keep each meeting to 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, that's so great, Becky, because then you can people coming can be like, yep, I know I can plan. Get more engagement, time limits, raise hands to talk in virtual meetings. Yes. More thought into desired results. Have a timekeeper. That's a great idea, Gaytree, because then you can kind of share the leadership of those meetings. Parking lot to keep off track ideas. Yep. Clarify purpose and when decisions are needed. I love that about the Red Lodge Area Community Foundation. We know what we need to do. Schedule social time. That's such a great idea, Charlotte. Yes. All right, it looks like we're on time, Katie. 1 minute over.
Great. Well, please
Yeah,
keep
with
these
that,
ideas
yeah.
rolling in. We'd love to have some questions as well. So here's the first one. Tara, are effective meetings regarded as good meetings or are good meetings viewed as effective ones? Great question.
Oh, just a softball right off the bat,
Hmm.
huh?
On a nice,
Well,
crisp Tuesday morning.
yeah, I think, I mean, I guess I feel like, every group is just so different. They have their own culture and their own way of doing things. So I think it really is going to, in my opinion, my 2 cents, I feel like it really does depend on your group, like that organization, that community that I shared, like, it was frustrating for some of us that wanted to have a more, succinct meeting, but I think those folks in that community just really loved, at least some of them, spending the time with the meandering agenda. So I think it really does depend. Any other questions or thoughts on meetings? I'm so thankful for all of your awesome comments. How do you change the meeting culture? Shiara, I love that question. Boy, I think, looking at the topics that Katie has lined up for the rest of this session, I feel like if you follow through that, you're going to get a lot of different ideas. And I always tell people when you see a cool new idea, I think it's a great opportunity to just bring it back to your group and say, hey, I heard this really cool idea. Let's try it out. Let's see how this works in with our meetings. I think this might be worth a try. And I think I think you always need to get buy-in from the whole group. It needs to be a process of evolution, and because you can't, especially Shara, I know she works for the Whitehall Chamber of Commerce, and so those folks are all volunteers showing up. So you need to have buy-in and collaboration from the folks that are showing up, and maybe if you can slowly introduce some of these ideas that you're going to learn over this series, that will be helpful for you. Yes, I will share the PowerPoint with Katie,
So,
as
Tara,
well
if I
as some of
can,
these tools. Mhm. Yeah.
I just wanted to emphasize something I heard you say is this
Mhm.
idea of slowly. So I think right
Yeah.
sizing expectations, changing culture takes time and it doesn't happen overnight. So I think staying, consistent with the work that you're doing to kind of shift culture, but also some level of patience, which is not always easy, as we saw at the beginning of the webinar, as it feels like it's a time waster. Another great question here, Tara. In meetings, it's often the same people who speak the most. Do you have any tips for how
Mhm.
to get those folks involved, everyone involved in a friendly manner? Hmm. Lots of softballs.
Yeah, right. Um, well, if you notice on the Red Lodge Area Community Foundation, well, I showed it to you pretty quickly, but they always have somebody that is next. They have a person's name next to each agenda item. So that is one way where you can very deliberately spread out the speaking points for throughout the meeting. And I mean, oof, that's a tough one. Katie, you're an awesome facilitator. What are your thoughts on that question?
Well, we'll have Allison Costa will be talking in 2 weeks about facilitation of meetings and some kind of strategies around that. And I'm sure she'll touch on this in more depth. Um, I think often we go into groups and we haven't really thought, as you were sharing, Tara, intentionally about what is our process.
Yeah.
So when these meetings are just kind of an open roundtable conversation, that's an easy environment for folks to dominate and for other folks to be quiet and fade into the background. So as Tara said, the one example from the Red Lodge Foundation is just being really deliberate about how and when people engage. It doesn't always have to be this open free for all dialogue. There can be design and control of that built in where then you don't even really feel that domination as much. So, and
Yeah.
we'll hopefully go a little
Well
deeper
said.
in that. Tara and I and everyone in Extension are also open to just having one-off conversations. So you're welcome. There's Tara's contact. to
Mhm.
reach out and kind of we can help you problem solve a specific situation.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Sam, for the great comment. Session 1 has been helpful, and I'm really excited for the rest of these. Super helpful in hearing others and learning new ways to implement positive change. Yeah, I really do think that, I mean, meetings are, they're really where you come together and you get the work done of your organization. And I think the better they are, the more people are going to show up, the more input you're going to get, and the better decisions you're going to make, and the more effective your organization will be, which in the end will just further benefit through increased success and increased resources and opportunities coming your way.
Great. Well, I don't see, oh, Kimberly, we'll just share what Kimberly and then we'll maybe send folks off. One of the things Kimberly has done is to add the goals of the meeting to the agenda, which keeps folks focused and then folks know when to speak and share. Yeah, I think connecting the dots, making it really for easy, particularly for volunteers, right, who have full-time jobs and are doing other things in the community, making it easy for them to remember, why are we here? What are we trying to do? So that's great. Well, oh, sorry, Tara, any last thoughts from you before we send folks off into their morning?
I think Jeff's question here, how can someone who's not leading the meeting influence the meeting effectiveness? I mean, that's the most challenging position to be in, but absolutely. I mean, one idea that I already kind of shared is just say, hey, I went to this seminar and they shared these really great ideas. Is it all right if we try some of these ideas? And I will help implement them. So, sharing, just using this as a point of learning and offering to help facilitate those pieces. The leader of the meeting might be very thankful to have some help in that. So I think that's a really tough position to be in, but an opportunity as well if you can play it right.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for the questions. You saw Tara's email there. You're welcome to keep them coming her way. We are going further in depth. This morning was really about kind of setting the stage of why it's important to take time to think about your meeting design and how you run them. So next week we're coming back with what can you do for some of the pre-planning to set yourself up for success on that meeting day and time. So we hope you'll join us again here at 8:30. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, oh, happy Halloween. Go get those costumes on and enjoy your time in community and place. All right.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Tara.